Court calls cases of the people versus Forbes Dabney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Randy Cook of the people.
He's in jail.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hannah Mackey on behalf of Abney.
Dabney, can you state your name, please?
What's going on here? Hello? Hey,
Hello. Okay.
what's going on?
Tell the judge your name.
Oh,
You
say-
recognize that as being Mr. Dabney, because I don't know that we're gonna
Yes, Your Honor.
get an
Hello,
entire.
where am I? Hello, who?
Okay.
All right,
It's
I'm seeing a little better today. And I'm hearing just as well, I guess. I'm impaired. So this is, who's this I'm with? Hello, can you hear me out there?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Dabney. This is Judge Simpson, okay?
Oh, Judge Simpson, okay.
All right. So, Mr. Dabney, here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, your attorney has asked for a forensic evaluation. I'm gonna sign that order and give you a new date to come back, okay?
What does that mean? It sounds like.
Okay,
you
that
said-
means there are gonna be some folks that are gonna talk to you, and they're just gonna tell us how well you are and whether or not this matter can proceed forward.
What are you trying to say? Am I stuck here in this jail again?
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen with you in that regard, but I'm just telling you what we're doing today, okay?
So I'm not leaving today. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm telling you, you're not leaving today, but what will happen is your attorneys will come down and talk to you about that, okay?
I think that's unusual. The behaviors of the judge should not be had a right to do that. I don't think. Some people are holding me against my will. And
Okay. Okay, well,
this all
they
some
they
kind of
may
way.
they may come back to me and then we'll figure out something, okay? On that. So I'm gonna order a competency hearing on a forensic evaluation and
What is that word
competency
you
hearing.
said? I
Hold
can't hear
on,
it.
hold
I
on,
hear it.
hold
Say
on,
it
Mr.
again.
Dabney. I'm gonna set that for May 22nd, 2025 at 9. Okay, and I'll continue, at this time, I'll continue your bond on that case. Now, I've got a new case.
What is a bond?
Hold on a second.
What's the bond stuff all about?
What's the bond?
Yeah, that's kind of stuff I don't know why you guys.
Okay, you can
what
talk to
you're
your
doing.
attorney about it, but right
All right.
now, on that case I just did, what do you have it on? I don't have a sheet in front.
Where's my attorney?
Hang on, I'm gonna answer your question. Let me just find the paper. Pardon?
$10,000 cash.
Okay, your bond is set at 10,000 in that case.
Why? I don't believe.
Okay,
that's
well,
right.
here's what you do. You talk to your attorneys about that, and if they want to raise that before me, they can bring a motion to the court, okay?
Well, there's something wrong here.
Okay, so, hold on, Mr.
What is-
Dabney. Now we got,
You telling me that you got something against me?
no, I don't have anything against you, Mr. Dabney.
Well, why are you holding me here then?
Well, I'm not gonna change the bond until I get something that tells me I should.
Well, what's this bond crap about? I want to know something about it. And my attorneys are not talking to me.
Okay,
Mr.
I
Dabney,
don't
this is
even know I
Ronald
have
Brown.
an attorney. I had
Mr.
looked for
Dabney, this is
somebody
Ronald Brown. I
who
came
is
to
my
see you.
attorney.
Ronald Brown appearing on behalf of Mr. Dabney. I came to see you yesterday for about half an hour, 45 minutes.
Where are you now? I don't see nothing but a piece of paper here. Wait a minute.
You asked for my name and I gave you my name. I can make a bond
Okay.
argument if you like, Your Honor. He's 70 years
Where
old.
is he? I want to see him on the screen here.
I'm at the podium. I'm right here in an
it's not
orange tie.
switching off of me. Can you do a podium view?
Where is he?
Hang on.
I want to see him. I haven't seen him the once. Where, or help me.
Right there.
Who's this?
It's your attorney.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, you saw me yesterday and I wrote my name down on a piece of paper, Ronald Brown, remember?
Is that you? I see you now, yeah. But you
Yeah,
don't
we
look
talked
like the person
about
I
these
saw
things yesterday, correct? And you told me that you have medical conditions, that you have high blood pressure, that you have a heart condition, that you have vision challenges as well as hearing challenges. We talked about these things yesterday. You told me that you were an airplane pilot and that you also that you have a number of patents that you're working on and that you would like to continue working on those patents. You told me about your girlfriend. You told me about you taking tea and herbal medications instead of those medications that were prescribed for you. You told me that you had a heart monitor inserted underneath your chest by St. Joe's Hospital within the last several weeks, that heart monitor is irritating you, and you asked me to implore or urge the judge to allow you to get released so that you can get your proper medical attention through your medical, for your medical needs. We didn't talk about these things yesterday?
Yes, we
Hello?
did. So what
Okay.
you're trying to tell me is now you're gonna talk later on?
I'm talking to the judge now to give him reasons to think about releasing you. That's what I'm doing right now. I said I would do it.
Thank you. Then continue on. I think we're getting positive. We're getting
So you're
somewhere.
happy with my performance?
You're doing good, guy. I like you a lot. Yes.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
move on. Now, first,
So
one
I'm-
more thing I want to say to the judge. If
Tell
that's
him.
my way I could say something, the way I like to say, that the procedures that are going now against me with all these things is beyond my understanding to be a living soul on the face of the earth subject to the UCC codes of this thing. So I don't like what's going on with this court. And that's why I'm adjusting all these things, because I'm a living soul and a national, and you guys have gone beyond the power of the territory of the people of Michigan. And
Okay.
I don't like
Thank
it.
you for that. And Mr. Dabney, I'll think about that, and Mr. Brown will certainly bring all of those issues before the court. Now, Mr. Dabney, there's another case that I have for you that is charging with resisting and obstructing a police officer.
I object to that.
Okay. And
You know,
I
and
haven't.
there are reasons
hold
why
on.
that is.
Hold
He did
on,
not.
hold on, Mr. Dabney, hold on. You haven't been arraigned on it, but do you want Mr. Brown to represent you on that, the public defender?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
this is a
what we
public
need to
defender
do.
case.
Is that what
He's
this
not been arraigned.
process-
You wait for him reading, he stands
Is
mute.
that what
Yes,
this
Your Honor.
process all about right now?
Well, that's part of the process.
Okay, then go on. What else is it?
Okay, well, hold on. Mr. Brown will be down to explain all of that to you.
All right. And I have some other questions I want to ask before you go with
So
him.
let me finish this part, okay?
Go ahead.
So on this case, there's also been a request for a forensic evaluation. I will set this matter for, rather than a PCC, we'll just go to a comp hearing. We'll set that for, what was her name?
March?
Now, who
May
said that?
22nd.
22nd?
Yes.
May
Who said
22nd. I'm gonna set a date. Hold on. May 22nd, 2025, 9 a.m. All right?
But who said that though?
Who said
Was
what?
it you, Brown? Was it you, Mr. Brown?
The judge sets the dates.
Oh, the judge said that? It wasn't Brown
Yes.
who said that.
The judge said that. He set the date for you, Mr. Dabney.
Okay. So I'm gonna set your bond in this case as just a $1,000 bond, okay? Not the 10,000. Mr. Brown will argue your bond at some point before me, okay?
Something don't
I'll
sound
come-
right here.
I'll come down to see you and you'll give me additional information so that I can make more arguments why you should get out.
All other standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. I will also no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any other drugs. All right, Mr. Dabney, thank you.
You're not gonna answer my questions, Tim? You're not gonna answer my question.
I answered all of your questions, sir.
Well, what was my answer to my question that I asked you?
What was your question?
Where's my things that has to do with taking this, finishing all these things with monies? Instead of fiat money systems, where's my bond? Not my bond,
Okay,
my minor
so
estate.
what you're gonna have to do
I want to talk to my
you're
attorney
gonna-
about my minor
this
estate.
is what I want you to do. Mr. Dabney, I'll hear you and give you an answer to the question. You talk to your attorney, Mr. Brown, and he'll get all of that information to me.
Okay,
And then
then,
I'll make a decision.
as a judge or as a people?
As the judge, yes, that's what I do.
The judge
Okay,
with,
all right. Thank you, sir.
That's funny, Beverly. He's wanting the senior discount for crimes. But, he's charged with resisting an officer, and I could see him resisting. I could see him just being completely lost, and no matter what he's doing. I guess this is the part where I say, hey, everybody, welcome to American Courts. We got a fun show for you tonight. We got Kansas with Judge Webster and Jill Gillette going at it with each other, and we've got some, let's see, we got Judge, I think it's, I think we got Judge Shackelford, and I think we might even have Judge DeSanto. Let me check. Let's start with the Judge Webster and Jill Gillette. This one comes from old Squishy Gardner. I wasn't able to grab it today, but he grabbed it. So give him some credit. Go check out his channel, like and subscribe, and all that other stuff. But here we go.
They
We
have to be
brought a
filed.
copy up to you. I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, you better not.
We'll just take it up later.
Miss Gillette, who is the judge here? I am looking for Alfonso Caldwell and Tanya Sanchez.
We already did Sanchez. We have a Tiana Richardson and a Dustin Newport I still have.
Well, hold on. That's not what I'm showing. What do you have, Missy?
I have Alfonso Caldwell and Tiana Richardson. That Newport bonded out, or no, well, he bonded on ours and then Lyon County come and got him
I
before.
noticed, okay, he was taken off the docket. And what did I do? Mix up Tanya Richardson and Sanchez?
Mhm.
And no one mentioned that I was using the wrong name?
You were using the right name.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, and these are my couple that I don't have anything filed to show that they have to be in court. I don't have a summons. I don't have a uniform notice to appear issued by the officer in the ticket.
Judge, the girls filed the ticket earlier today.
Okay, let me see if it's, maybe I just need to double check. Mr. Caldwell.
Tickets were issued January 23rd, 25 at 20:59 hours. But
Okay,
today,
well, let me make sure they made it to the file because I'm not seeing that. I don't see that, Ms. Gillette, and until I have filed verification that they had noticed this hearing. I'm not finding that. You're sure they filed them?
Arlene was the one who did it for us.
No, Missy, do you have that where you can look at it? Because I am not seeing it filed. Maybe I need to. No, I think I've already refreshed to see if they've been added. If you want to
They're
check.
not in the case yet.
What was that, Missy?
I said they're not showing up in the case yet.
I don't know if upstairs hasn't approved them or what's going on.
I can check.
Would you check? We'll take just a real quick recess because I don't have anything in the file to show they have notice of the hearing, so I can't take any action for their failure to appear without it.
I didn't know it was this quiet for this long. Wonder if I should fast forward any.
Originals, you're thinking the originals?
Were submitted this morning by.
There we go.
Arlene's gonna bring the unfiled copy upstairs, Your Honor, but they were submitted this morning by Jessica.
Yeah, they haven't made it into the file for some reason. I need the originals. You're thinking the originals are on file somewhere or waiting to be filed? See what Missy finds. Maybe they'll find the originals at the clerk.
What, Judge? I'm sorry, I'm back now.
Well, she said they'll bring up, if I understood Miss Gillette right, they're bringing up copies, but where are the originals?
I think I actually have a copy because I was asking them today about it, so
Well, I need.
I can print you off the copies that I got
Now,
sent.
copies, I need original documentation that these people had notice of this hearing, either in the form of a returned summons or a citation. And I don't have one of anything to show that they know about this hearing today.
Your Honor, the citations, we get a Xerox of them. We don't get the originals. The originals normally stay either in the file with the sheriff's office now, or they go straight upstairs. But this had to be long formed because it's marijuana. And so.
Well, even with the long form, I would accept, you don't have the originals, Arlene? You have copies? Have those been filed with the clerk?
Yes.
They have been filed. They didn't make it into their file. Do you know why? I don't have them in the file.
Well, because that's the clerks.
Okay. Well, Missy, did you check with the clerks?
Yes, I just checked with them and they do not have them. They're not in the queue to approve.
I know they're not in the queue. I looked through the queue. Oh, unless you mean their queue.
Yeah,
Well, what I'm going to do, now I'm looking at copies of tickets, and I've seen enough tickets over the years to know these are tickets, and they do appear to be signed by the signature I know as Blake Fisher's, although I'm not an expert in handwriting. But I am not comfortable issuing any kind of failure to appear warrants if there's no documentation in the file. These are just handed to me, but once they are filed, then I would not hesitate to issue warrants for their failures to appear. So I'm going to set these two cases over till next Tuesday. By then, I'm sure that we'll figure out why those haven't been filed. And then if they're not here at that date and time, we'll issue warrants, but they'll have to be given notice of the new date and time. And it looks like they're out of Wichita, Kansas. Yes, so.
If I have to issue new summonses, then it's going to be more than a week because I have to issue them, send them to Wichita, and have them served on them. They have their notices to appear, complaints.
All right, I'll tell you what, I don't.
And get the original anymore.
Just file the copies, whatever, but they have to be filed, Ms. Gillette. I have nothing that gives me legal authority to issue failure to appear warrants. I have in the file, and I'm looking at it, a complaint, a probable cause affidavit, a notice that you're going to rely on KBI reports, and that's it. There is nothing in the file to show legally that they have notice of this hearing. So I don't know where the tickets are. I don't know why they're not filed. I understand that someone in your office said they gave them to the clerk. I understand the clerk to say they don't have them. I don't know where they are, but I do not have them, so I cannot issue any kind of warrant for failure to appear. So in fact, if you find them and get them in there even today, we can deal with it today rather than trying to issue summonses. But get me something I can legally use. Otherwise,
I'll call Sheriff Samuels and ask him if he can bring the originals out of his file.
I'm not telling you you have to do the originals. I'm just telling you, Miss Gillette, I cannot legally issue a warrant. And you know that. You know I have to have verification before I issue a warrant.
And we emailed them to your staff who has them this morning. They were sent to
My secretary is not the clerk of the district court. My secretary is not the custodian for that. They have to be filed.
Up to you. I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, you better not.
We'll just take it up later.
Ms. Gillette, who is the judge here? I am not going to accept your behavior. You're putting me in a position where I'm going to have to find you in contempt of court if you're going to act like this.
I don't have the original, Judge. I can't get it to you. We filed them this morning. That's all I can tell you.
Ms. Gillette, you are not listening to me. And you're being contemptuous.
The state has contempt immunity. We already briefed this. If you would like us to get them filed again, we will file.
You have contempt immunity? Do you have ethical immunity that you can talk to a judge any way you want and have no repercussions? Is this what you're saying?
Judge, I will find the originals, whoever has them, and we'll see if we can get them to you. We will get them filed.
And we will finish this later, Ms. Gillette. At this time, Missy, it looks like Ms. Gillette has decided to remove herself from the hearing. As I said, this matter is not over and it will not be tolerated. But for now, we will be in recess.
All right, thank you everybody for watching that one. Again, that's Old Squishy Gardener. Go check out his channel. Everybody's already subscribed there, so just go make sure to watch the videos, give thumbs up, tell them we sent you, all that other stuff we're supposed to say to you. We got a couple other ones. I'm gonna show you a short little landlord one. It was kind of going along with the same kind of fuss and attitude as this, so it'll work out well for it.
And then Eleanor versus a Daniel and a Shannon.
Hello, yes,
This
ma'am.
court has the good cameras.
First of all, I am sorry about the noise my phone was making. I was not aware of it.
You're fine, Eleanor. Go ahead and just get it started. What is the monthly rent? And this is for a Daniel and a Shannon.
Yes. The monthly rent is $775.
Okay. What is the total amount that you're
That
seeking?
includes 2,000. 2001. I'll just do 2030.
No, we're not guessing. This is going on somebody's credit report. What is the amount that is owed?
Okay, 2080.
2080?
Yes.
What months does that represent?
That represents December and November.
November and December?
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't financially make sense. Even if I double December and November, that's only maybe 1,500. Where are you getting 2,000 at?
The 2,000 is because she owes past due rent for October.
Okay, that's exactly what I just asked you. When does the delinquency start? You said November. Now it's October. Which one is it?
We'll just start it in November to make the math easy.
It doesn't make sense. As a landlord, you're not going to pick and choose what you want to do. This is going on somebody's credit. You are the last one here, and you've had multiple times to figure out your numbers. So I need you to give me an accurate number of what you're asking for and an accurate amount of time that coincides with that, because that does not make sense.
Okay, the true amount is from September to now. She owes $2,080.
Okay, so now it starts in September, not in November.
She owes past due rent. I'm just trying to get her out. I'm fine with 2 months, and that's 1,500. I'm
Okay.
just trying to say, I'm not doing the max because her husband died, and I'm just trying to get her out because she owes more than 2 months.
Okay.
So I'm fine with just collecting from November going forward, because at the end of the day, she hasn't paid rent and her prime breadwinner has passed away. And her rent is $775. So I'm fine with just saying 2 months rent.
Okay, you want 2 months rent? I'll give you 2 months rent. 2 months rent, $775. That's prorated in December for 31 days is $25 a day. She owes 10 days, it's $250 plus $775. That's how you would do the math, and that's how I want it expected next time.
Okay.
Miss Shannon.
Yes.
First of all, do you agree that your base monthly rent is $775?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and we're not gonna get back into what he owes because he's giving you a break and he's only giving you, asking for November and December. Do you agree that November and December have not been paid?
That's correct.
Okay, is there anything you can do or offer them to become current?
Right. I'm getting my license renewed on Friday. I've been having to wait. I already have 2 places of employment lined up, already ready to
So
go.
what can you do to become current?
Right now, I don't have anything until it's gonna be like a week or 2, like
And
3
what
weeks.
is in a week or 2, what can
Yeah.
you offer them?
By that time, it would be at least 500
Okay.
at the least.
Eleanor Apartments, are you willing to wait 1 week for $500 or do you want judgment today?
We want judgment today, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Shannon, I can't force them to wait. So judgment's gonna be in the amount of $1,025. You've got 5 days to move out,
Okay,
5 days to appeal it or work something out with them outside of court.
right.
Okay?
Okay,
right,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much, Your Honor.
All right, Eleanor, you got your judgment.
Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That concludes our.
Okay, I think I figured it out. I was looking in there and I thought each and everything called me Mr. Potato Head, but I think she's talking about that fella there. So I'll just take that on it. So well, let's look over at another. This one here was brought to us by Brecken. So everybody tell Brecken thank you. Everybody tell Brecken thank you. Thank you, Brecken.
Sir, in the Nisqually Jail, good afternoon. What is your name, please?
Matthew Thorne.
Take care. Sir, you are Matthew James Thorne.
Yes.
Your date of birth is June 13th, 1986.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Thorne, you are before the court for a 4th pretrial conference in your case. It appears that you were last scheduled to be before the court on June 13th, 2024, at which time the docket indicates you failed to appear and a warrant was issued for your arrest. This is your first appearance since the service of that warrant. Ms. Arnold, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Thorne's pretrial conference at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, I just want to confirm with the defendant quickly that he was able to go over the SOC with Mr. Reardon over the phone.
Yes.
Okay, and you have no questions about that?
I mean,
If you have any questions, we can go in a breakout room and you can ask me. I just want to make sure that everything was gone over with you prior to going on the record.
I don't agree. I don't agree with any of this, but I don't really feel like it matters. I'm just trying to get it done in the least way possible.
Mr. Thorne, so I have to state that anything that you say can and will be used against you at trial later on if that's what you decided to do. So if you have any questions or concerns or anything that we could go into a breakout room, okay? So I think going in a breakout room would be appropriate, Your Honor.
Questions? I just want to get out of jail. So it don't really matter.
Thorne, if we could please go in a breakout room.
Of course. Mr. Thorne, you're going to be receiving on the screen there in front of you an invitation to go into a breakout room so that you can speak privately with Ms. Arnold. Please accept that. After the two of you have completed your conversation, we can proceed with this case.
It won't let me click in it.
Having trouble figuring out how to get in there. Officer, we're trying to put Mr. Thorne in a breakout room if possible.
Yes, sir. Set it up this way. So I'm gonna plan to stay in jail for a while then.
Mr. Thorne, everything that you state can be used against you at trial. So please refrain from stating anything on the.
It goes to will, man, and I know that. But you know that too. Ever since the day one.
Thorne, please.
No. You guys are just gonna keep me in jail? For what?
Mr. Thorne, please.
Madam Clerk, the city is this still being recorded? The city's requesting. Oh, is it possible for the city to obtain a copy of what was just said? Okay, thank you. And given the defendant's statements, the city is asking that we go back on the record. Even the city won't make any statements, but I would like to have a clear and accurate recording. If anything else is said before the judge comes back, we could go back on the record so this can be recorded.
I wanna know why the police didn't get my witness statements. So this is all a joke. You guys aren't here for my interest. No one's here to help me. It's a lie.
Mr. Thorne, please stop stating anything on the record.
guys are ruining people's lives. For nothing.
Mr. Thorne.
I ain't got shit else good to say. I'm not gonna sit here and say what you want me to say. I can't speak my
Not
mind.
asking you to, oh my God, the judge is back.
And that was bullshit.
Mr. Thorne, please refrain from stating anything else on the record.
Yeah, for my best interest. Sure.
Yes, for your best interest.
Of course. I trust you because I trust.
So now that Victoria's here, I need to go ahead and give a language warning. This guy gets a little mouthy, so I'm going to back it up 30 seconds and jump back in, but he gets a little mouthy there. I apologize for it. I didn't edit it out. I'm going to blame Linus on that one. Linus didn't edit it out, so we're going to blame her. Good. I got him crying there, so good. We all got to see him crying again.
Ruining people's lives. For nothing.
Mr. Thorne.
I ain't got shit else good to say. I'm not gonna sit here and say what you want me to say. I can't speak my
Not
mind.
asking you to, oh my God, the judge is back.
And that was bullshit.
Mr. Thorne, please refrain from stating anything else on the record.
Yeah, for my best interest. Sure.
Yes, for your best interest.
Of course. I trust you because I trusted everybody else in this whole situation too.
Mr. Thorne, I understand that you're frustrated and you need to calm down because this isn't great, okay? Please
don't
stop
respect
saying
you.
anything on the record.
I just don't respect you. That's all.
Okay. That's fine, but please protect yourself.
Ms. Arnold, we are back on the record in City of Lakewood versus Matthew James Thorne, 23L000420. Prior to the recess, there was some discussion about a stipulated order of continuance. I now have before me a motion to continue the pretrial conference. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. So it was my understanding that it was going to be a motion to continue, but after speaking with the defendant, I think it is best to continue this case until Monday to allow some time for the defendant to think about this offer.
Okay, that's fair.
I
Mr.
don't have nothing to
Vincent,
think about.
any objection to continuing this matter to Monday at, looks like
Yes,
Monday at
me.
1
I
p.m.
object.
And
I
we're
object.
we're maintaining the bell.
You're not gonna keep me in jail an extra 5 days just to make me think, oh, okay. No.
Mr. Thorne, I'm gonna need you to try and control yourself so that I can hear from the attorneys, okay?
They're both liars.
Mr. Vincent, what is the city's recommendation?
The city's recommendation that bell be maintained and this could be set over to Monday.
And Ms. Arnold, do you want to be heard on that?
No, Your Honor, that's an agreement.
All right. So we will go ahead and maintain pretrial conditions of release in this matter, and we will set this case over to a new pretrial conference on Monday at 1 p.m. Mr. Thorne, thank you. You can go ahead and let the officer know that your hearing is done. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay, I don't agree. I don't want her to be here on Monday. I want a different lawyer. If I'm gonna be in jail, I might as well not play the little game according to your guys' rules. You're not gonna fuck me and make me say thank you for it. And get these bitch ass motherfuckers off the screen now. They want to go talk to someone else and lie to someone else.
Your Honor, can defense request a brief recess?
No, we don't need no recess. Fuck you, bitch. Get off the case. That's what we
Sure.
requested now.
Yeah, go ahead and mute the jail. Yes, Ms. Arnold, we can absolutely take a brief recess. Just let me know when you're ready to resume.
Thank you.
Yeah, so see, I get freedom of speech and I get all that, but she don't, she doesn't have to put up with that either. So I'm somewhat curious on to what they do with this, if they just disregard his behavior or if there's any sort of penalty for it. I like the Judge Stevens idea. Hey, good. You do it. You hire your own attorney. Do what you need to do. But you've already gotten rid of your attorney, and so I hate making fun of defendants, but that's certainly one I'd love to just put on a loop him crying just over and over and just keep it on a loop. I hope his kids are proud of him. Let's jump over to Judge Shackelford.
Okay, this is 240712, the City of Taylor versus Jason Sullivan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Zick for the people. Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Fanto for Mr. Sullivan. I advised the court that, and the court knows that we had had what we thought was an agreement. Mr. Sullivan has indicated he no longer wishes me to represent him. And that includes any of the attorney group out of his court.
So is he retaining an attorney?
I don't know, Judge. He suggested that he may, but in the interim, I would at least have asked the court to appoint someone out of, or ask regional MIDC to appoint someone to represent him. We also have, the matter was scheduled for tomorrow, but understandably, based on what our agreement was, what we thought it might be, he has an availability problem tomorrow. It's my understanding a complaint in this matter may have one as well. And just ask it be moved to March 21st. And then if he chooses to retain an attorney, then that attorney can discuss the matter with Mr. Zick.
So Mr. Gazicki, there's been a material breakdown of your relationship? Or I'm sorry, Mr. Fanto?
There has been a significant breakdown, yes, Your Honor.
All right, but he's never even met Mr. Gazicki, right?
He's concerned about the association with our group with the court, Judge.
All right, Mr. Sullivan, what's your problem with Mr. Gazicki, an attorney you've never even met?
Well, with this group alone, I've came to 2 plea deals. Both plea deals have been denied. This has been a waste of almost 8 months of my time, and I've not even been given a discovery package or any evidence of this crime I committed.
So what does Mr. Gazicki have to do with any of that? I've not heard a single word about him.
I have no care for a company that doesn't care to take care of their clients.
Okay, well, Mr. Fanto and Mr. Gazicki aren't even at the same firm. They don't work for the city. They're in 2 separate firms, and they're independent counsel. They're not paid by the court even. They're paid by the Michigan Indigent Defense Council. They're completely independent from the court and the city.
I just made it clear to Mr. Fanto I wanted nothing to do with him or the company he associates with.
All right, well, that's too bad for you, because here's the thing, Mr. Sullivan, you don't get to pick your attorney. If you want to go hire one, get who you want. And if you don't want to work with Mr. Fanto, that's fine. But this idea that an indigent defendant gets to just go through lawyers until he finds the one he wants and to disregard indigent defense counsel because he has some feeling without even having an interaction with that attorney it's insane, sir. And I'm not going to just keep appointing you attorneys because you don't like the outcome or you don't like the advice the attorneys give you. I don't know what to tell you about that.
It's not that I don't like anything. It's the fact that for 8 months now, I've yet to receive my discovery package. I've seen no evidence of this.
Have you asked your attorney for it? Have you had conversations? I mean, what does that have to do with, have you had conversations about that?
So the lawyer's job is to represent me, but it's my job to ask him how to represent me. That's exactly why there's a failure in communication.
If you want a physical copy of your discovery, yeah.
So as a defendant,
did you go to law school?
For the evidence against me? If there's any evidence, that should be at a show cause hearing. I never even got a show cause hearing.
What? Okay, you clearly did not go to law school. It's never been more evident to me, Mr. Sullivan, that you literally have no idea what you're even talking about. Listen, you know what, Mr. Fanto? You can meet with Mr. Gazicki and you can see if you want him to represent you, or you can retain your own lawyer.
That is fine with me. I'm not trying to sit here and argue with you. I know you got better stuff to do.
Well, you are. Mr. Sullivan, if you want to come and get a copy of your discovery or look at it, you can always come to court in person.
I live in Flint. I don't have the option to do that. I've already moved 80 miles away from where this situation happened.
Well,
I'm trying to move on with my life.
You know, when you come for trial, you will have to come in person.
That's perfectly fine as long as I have the time to set that up.
All right, I'll see you March 21st at 8. 1 second. They're resolved. They're resolving them. We'll see you March 21st at 8:30 a.m. for your jury trial.
How am I going to go to trial if I've not seen any evidence and I'm not prepared for trial? This is exactly why I'm firing my lawyer.
Mr. Sullivan, that's not why you're fighting with your lawyer. You're fighting with your lawyer because the plea was revoked. There was a plea offer and it was pulled back, and that's why you're fighting with your lawyer. But if you want to come and speak, you want to speak with someone, you want to get a copy of the discovery, you're entitled to that.
We'll make another copy available, Your Honor.
We've got, Mr. Sullivan, can I give Mr. Guzicki your phone number?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
And you can have a copy of the discovery, but I mean, that's either way, you're coming to trial on March 21st, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. We'll see you on your trial date. Mr. Guzicki, you can apprise the court of your status with Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you,
Mr. Zick present.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Sullivan. Don't wait, we gotta put more on the record.
All right, so tonight is just going to be the night of the moody defendants, I guess. Judge Shackelford has never passed by an argument that she didn't like and that she wasn't willing to engage in. I truly like her, but I also think she's cute, so that may be what it is. I don't know, but I like the way she handles court. So here's Judge DeSanto, speaking of which, so here we go.
Miss Maswa, if you can please remove your head. What is that? A scarf on your head?
I have a head wrap.
A head wrap?
I can't remove it.
You cannot remove it permanently?
Huh?
Is it permanent?
No, ma'am. My hair is not taken care of properly lately. I can't take it off. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that, but you're in court, so we don't allow hats or head wraps of that nature. So, and it's not a religious garment. So, can you please remove your head wrap?
I can't, ma'am. I can't remove it. I'm sorry. I can't. I didn't know that was an issue. I didn't realize the headscarf was an issue. I'm not wearing a hat. I can't remove it, ma'am. I'm sorry. My hair is not in good condition.
Okay, I'm not really sure what that means, but this court has requested you to remove your headscarf or your head wrap. It's not a religious garment, so it needs to be removed, please, before we proceed with the proceedings.
Ma'am, I can't. I'll leave the proceedings then, I guess. I didn't realize that was an issue. I didn't know that was an issue, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second. That's brilliant. This is my first time watching this too with you guys, so that's brilliant. She's offering to just go ahead and leave the proceedings. You know, if I was going to court and it was something I didn't want to be at, there's nothing better than to just delay it I can't finish this. Just call it back later. It's a smart move for the lady. She's won one.
Ma'am, wearing a headscarf, anything on your head in court is not appropriate. So that is
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. If I had known, I would have made the effort to not be able to. But ma'am, I cannot. I just can't. Dignity, I cannot remove it. I'm sorry. I'll leave the meeting then.
Ma'am, I will give you a moment to step off so you can do that differently. That's fine. And
there's nothing else that I could possibly do. I need to have my hair covered up. It is a mess, ma'am. It's a mess. My hair is a mess. I cannot not have it covered up. I'm sorry. I did not know that was an issue. I didn't know. I would have taken care of it. I'm really sorry. I'll leave if it's necessary then. I'm sorry to disrespect you. I didn't intend to. Would you like me to leave?
I guess what I'm saying is that you stated that you can, if you would have known, it would have been different. So you can't just step off for a few moments and do what you have to do and step back on?
No, ma'am. I have dreadlocks. It's very, no, ma'am. I can't. I really can't. I'm sorry to disrespect you. I didn't mean to. Should I leave then? Should I just leave?
Just one moment. All right, ma'am. I will make an exception this time. But let me just clarify, ma'am, court is not just as though you're walking into a store to go shopping. Whether you're in
I
person.
understand. I honestly, genuinely,
Excuse me,
truly did not understand that a
excuse me,
headscarf would
please,
be.
I'm not finished. I also do not appreciate being spoken over and interrupted. So what I'm trying to say is that whether you're in person or on Zoom, appropriate dress is required. Let's go on the record in the matter of Tammy Urban versus Lori Maswa, 2500248. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Christopher Bogart on behalf of Miss Tammy Urban, who is present in my office, although she's not on screen right now.
I'm sorry, what was that, counsel?
I was letting you know that Tammy's also present in my office. I don't believe she's needed for the hearing, but just letting the court aware that if for some reason she is, she's in my office as well.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Maswa, your name for the record, please.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing, ma'am.
Your name for the record, please.
Lori Maswa.
Okay. And today's the date scheduled for the first hearing. And counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor. She was served with a notice to quit on January 2nd. We then filed the complaint for eviction on February 3rd. I did speak with Ms. Maswa yesterday, asking her if she was able to move out of the house, if she's had, she's known about this since my understanding since the beginning of December that her sister was going to file for an eviction after the holidays. It doesn't appear that she's made arrangements to leave the house at this time. The parties don't get along, and Ms. Urban would like to move forward with the eviction, Your Honor.
Okay. Do the two of them reside together?
It's Tammy's home, and she's allowed Miss Maswa to stay in the home while she was trying to find other arrangements. She's been there, my understanding, for the last 2 years, and she just hasn't made any efforts to leave the house, Your Honor.
Okay, so I am going to need your client for testimony, counsel. So, Ms. Urban, can you please place your name on the record, please?
Sorry, what?
Say your name.
Your name for the record, please.
Tammy Urban?
All right, I'm going to have Ms. Urban and Ms. Maswa, please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony? Ms. Urban, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, can you make sure you know that he gets that ready and then
Okay.
one by one after we check the phones, please. Okay, and okay, so Ms. Urban, you own the home, correct?
Yes.
And do you reside at the home, or is only Ms. Maswa residing at the home?
I live there. I reside there.
Okay, so the two of you do live together? Okay.
Yes.
And how do you know Ms. Maswa?
She's my sister.
All right, and when did Ms. Maswa move in?
About October 6th, 2022.
October 6th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
The two attorneys can have their phones of the defendant and the plaintiff as they come through the door, or anyone else who asks for their phones. She has to check the phone. Okay, you okay to bring him in?
Okay, and so when Ms. Maswa moved in, well, actually, Ms. Maswa, did you move in October 6th of 2022?
Yeah.
Okay. And Miss Urban, when Miss Moskwa moved in, what, if any, were the terms?
It was temporary. I actually had her sign a paper saying that she was a temporary guest. And that she would leave, if, when asked to leave, that she would leave. So she knew it was temporary.
Okay. And is it only you and Miss Moskwa living in the home?
Yes.
And you are the homeowner, correct?
Yes.
Miss Moskwa, when you moved in, were the terms that are as stated on the record by Miss Urban?
She had me sign a paper saying that basically that I was a guest and that when I would have to leave when I was asked to leave.
Okay.
That there was no other real stipulation as far as the time. It's just, but it said I was a guest and I did sign it. But I had to in order to stay.
Okay, so the answer to the question that I asked is yes. And so was there any rent that was to be paid at all?
No.
Okay. Were there any utilities that you would have to pay?
At that time, no.
Okay. And so, Miss Urban, is this the first time in January that you've requested Miss Moskwa to relocate?
Yes. No.
What else have you asked Miss Moskwa to relocate?
I had her, we weren't getting along, so she was, well.
Back in October,
Yeah.
she filed, she gave her another notice to quit, Your Honor, and then eventually before appearing in court, it was dismissed. So she, Ms. Urban allowed Ms. Moskwa to stay for the holidays. And then at the beginning of December indicated that if she wasn't gone by the end of the holidays, that she was going to formally evict her in January. So she allowed her to stay through the holidays, and then January 2nd gave her another 30-day notice to quit, Your Honor.
Okay. And so Ms. Moskwa, so you've acknowledged that it was temporary and that when you were asked to leave, you'd have to leave. You have been asked to leave at least twice and received 2 notices to quit. And have you relocated?
No, ma'am. I've been looking very hard. I'm on disability. I'm only receiving $566 a month. It's very, very hard to find a place to live. With the lists are long. But can I just say one thing, please, with regard to the past October? She decided that she was going to be moving up to a condo that she had purchased, and that I would be able to stay here to get my stuff together, to be able to have some time to find a place to move out. That was the understanding in October. It was not a temporary thing. She rented a U-Haul and actually moved her belongings up to a condo. And the understanding was that I was to stay here and be able to take over the utilities. And it wasn't like a time limit or anything. It was not a temporary thing through the holidays. She did that after the fact. She decided after that she rented that U-Haul, she decided that she wanted to stay here and that I had to leave. But that was the understanding, and that was why it was called off in October, was because I was going to stay and she was moving out and I was going to be here. And that was the agreement. It wasn't a temporary thing for the holidays. Huh? Last October. It was not for a temporary thing when she called it off. It's like I said, she rented a U-Haul. She moved her belongings up to a condo up in Oscoda. And then after that, after she did that, that's when she changed her mind.
Ma'am, hold on. You've already testified that when you moved in October of 2022, that it was temporary. And then you have received 2 notices to quit. One in October, and your testimony is that it wasn't dismissed in court from the October one because of the holidays, but because Ms. Urban relocated up.
She was supposed to, ma'am. She did not do so. She moved her stuff up there, but she never actually moved herself up there.
Okay.
She rented a U-Haul. She moved her belongings up there, came back, and has only been up there one time for a couple days, and that's it.
Okay, and whose home is the home right now that you're living in?
Tammy's.
Okay, she doesn't have to move if she doesn't want to. You have to move, ma'am. You have to move.
I understand it, but like, that was the understanding. I don't understand. I don't think it's fair that she could just go back on something that we had an agreement on. And that was the thing, is I was supposed to be able to stay until I could find a place to live because the housing market is so unbelievably hard.
Yeah, you've had over 2 years to find a place to live.
Sorry.
You've had over 2 years to find a place to live.
And I haven't been able to do so, ma'am. The waiting lists are years, multiple years long.
All right, well, we're at that multiple years mark.
I'm sorry, I can't.
We are at the multiple years mark, where it's been over 2 years since you've been residing with Miss Urban, where she has allowed you to stay. Basically, it seems to be rent-free for over 2 years. How much money do you have set aside? How much money do you have set aside to relocate?
Ma'am, I don't have any money to be set aside. I've lived on $566 a month. I applied for SSI to get additional to my SSDI. It hasn't come through yet. It's going to take a few more months. And they started taking out premium for my Medicare of $185 a month. Otherwise, I would be getting $750 a month to live on. So I am actually a lot worse off than I was. And I'm going through all the appropriate necessary means, but it's just taking a lot longer than what I expected it to.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you then. Number 1, what are your financial responsibilities since you don't pay rent?
I was paying half the utilities for most of last year.
How much is that?
She told me I didn't have to, but.
How much is that per month?
It was about $150 a month.
Okay. So that's the only expense that you have?
No.
Okay.
I have a phone. I have to pay for delivery services for groceries. I don't have transportation, so I rely on grocery delivery services. I have to pay for that. I have to pay for streaming services. I pay for a book so I can read books because I'm disabled and I'm in the house and I don't have anywhere to go. So I read a lot of books. I mean, like that's.
Okay, and so ma'am, why is your inability to find housing in over 2 years, why is that Ms. Urban's responsibility to allow you to stay there?
It's not her responsibility, ma'am. I'm not claiming that it is her responsibility. I just wanted her to live up to the promise that she made me last fall. After everything, I just really wanted her to be able.
It appears as though she has lived up to the promise where you could temporarily stay and you would have to leave when asked to leave. So it seems as though you haven't lived up to that agreement. You want Ms. Urban to live up to her agreement, but you're not doing the same.
I don't believe they're not the same thing. Honestly, if I had a place to go, if I had some place that I could go, I would go. I'm not staying here because I want to. I'm not staying here because I want to upset her in any way. It's very uncomfortable being here, quite frankly, but ma'am, I don't have any place to go. If I leave, I'm gonna have to give up my cat and go live in a shelter. That's my option. I don't have any place else to go. So I have a hard time willingly doing that.
Okay, well, I understand that, but I don't think there's not a legal basis for this court to not enter judgment in favor of Ms. Urban. It is her home. She has asked you to leave. There has not been any testimony that would suggest that there is any legal basis for this court to not grant that order.
I understand.
Counsel, is your client willing to give more than 10 days or no?
Not at this time, Your Honor. She's given a lot of time and it doesn't go anywhere.
Ms. Urban, what was your intention with the U-Haul trailer? Was that just because you bought a vacation home or what is that?
So the whole thing with the condo up north, basically, is Lori can live there, but not till she's 55. And she didn't want it anyways. but I had got it because I do have, yeah, it was pretty much either gonna be for Lori, for me at some point permanently, or just because I go up there a lot, but I always go camping. And as I'm getting older, it's getting harder. So I kind of thought this would be perfect for me to have a foot up there instead of having to go camping every time I go up there. Because I do want to get up there permanently, but so I went up there and it's smaller than what I had thought. I got a lot of stuff and I came back and I told Lori that I wasn't going to be living up there full time at this point and that I would just be going up there, yes, to get out. And Lori immediately just everything changed and we just fought and fought and fought. And so then that's when I just told her that she has to go.
Okay, so then what is the condo that you purchased up north? Is that a 55 and older community?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. All right. So Ms. Moskwa, it appears as though your sister is even trying to look out for your best interest even up north. And things apparently didn't pan out the way that she was hoping they were going to pan out. And then it appears as though you're frustrated that you're not able to live at the home right now by yourself.
Exactly.
Would that be accurate, Ms. Moskwa, or no?
There's so much more to it, ma'am. There's a lot more to it. It just, she did what she said. Yeah, she was going to be staying here. She said it wouldn't be the same. Whatever, the things would be different. And it just, I don't really know what to say. Like I said, she moved it, but got the U-Haul, moved her stuff. She said she changed her mind, but she still at that point hadn't said that I was gonna have to leave. She said that things would be different. It wasn't gonna be the same as it was, and just
Okay, Ms. Moskwa, let me just state what I think is the obvious, but I'm not sure. Ms. Urban owns the home that you're currently in, correct?
Yeah.
She resides in that home, correct?
Yeah.
She allowed you to move into that home on a temporary basis. Is that also correct?
Yeah.
You also acknowledged signing a paper that you would leave when asked. Is that also correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ms. Urban also purchased a condo up north, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was 53.
54.
Okay.
I was 53 years old when she purchased the condo at a 55 plus community.
54, Lori.
I was 53. I believe it was in June or July.
No, it was.
That's really irrelevant.
Okay.
It's really irrelevant. But what is relevant is that, ma'am, Ms. Moskwa, you seem to be very, very ungrateful to your sister. Extremely ungrateful to your sister.
I'm very thankful for her. I literally told her that she saved my life when she allowed me to move in here in October of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, she helped me. She saved me. But I just, it's very hard. She has rules. It's just, it's a very hard living situation. She makes me feel.
She can put the rules in there that she wants. If you don't like it, then you leave.
And I'm trying to. I have tried. I have made an effort. I cannot find a place to go to.
Okay.
I have tried.
All right. I'm not going to go through what all of your efforts have been and how long you've been working on those efforts. I don't know. What I do know is that Ms. Urban owns the home. She has filed a notice to quit. She has filed this matter, and there's not a legal basis for this court to allow you to remain in the home. I don't hear anything from you that you've sought rental assistance anywhere. If that would even assist you, I don't know, because there's not any rent that's owed, and I don't know, ma'am, where you've put your name in, when you put your name in, or otherwise. What I do know is that Ms. Urban owns the home. Ms. Urban has asked you to leave. You have not left. So the court, after hearing, is going to order that plaintiff is entitled to recover possession of the property.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Defendant has until March 3rd to relocate. No money judgment will enter. Defendant may be responsible for money damages if damage to property occurs. And the court will send it upon receipt.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Maswa,
Yes.
you received all your paperwork in the mail along with the rights that you have, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you've chosen to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself in this hearing that we just had, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll send it upon receipt. Thank you. Good luck to you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so with that one, I know it's easy to, kind of make fun of that lady because she's kind of goofy and kind of crazy, but there's a big part of me that, just says they got to be some sort of social services that can just kind of grab that lady, by the hand and say, here, you have to do this, because she's not functional enough to fill out the paperwork for the housing. There's a lot of reasonable people in the chat that's talking about, oh, you just follow this step and follow that step, but obviously she don't have the life skills to be able to follow those steps, and until you have somebody that holds her hand and forces her, she's never going to move out. She's never going to do anything, and I don't know how that works out. I jumped off the screen there because she was down in that bottom corner, and I didn't want to take any of the light away from her. She was shining there, and I didn't want to lose that. But thank you guys for coming out. We're gonna go ahead and hold on. Let me see if I had another one. I don't know if I had another one. No, that's it for tonight. So we're gonna knock that out, and we're gonna come back in the morning. Kathy's gonna be live on Court Vibes, and then after Kathy's, Debbie Cook's gonna be doing something over on her channel, and then we're gonna do Judge Fleischer at just hell, I guess whenever he comes in, whenever he turns on. But we'll jump on that with Judge David Fleischer, and we got special guest Andrew coming in tomorrow. So we're gonna have a rock star in our crowd tomorrow. So everybody, y'all have a good night, and we'll throw up the credits and see you tomorrow.